Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the SPY, and as you can see, y'all, we have made a pre-market high of 640.28. So as we are making new highs here, we can mark that level. This was a gathering spot for us. Let's say somewhere around the 639.64. Definitely need to watch that area again. As it makes new highs, we just go in and fill in those places, but we're going to use our moving averages as a level of support and resistance, right? So where are the trouble places for the SPY as of now? Let's say back to the upside, we would need to get back up above the 5 EMA at 638.38. We can also use the 20 EMA at 638.78, not very far away. Now, should we break that, y'all see the ATR trailing stop is around the 639.30 area, 639.50. Yes, 639.50, breaking that 639.64. And should we break that somewhere around the 640.02 and breaking that 640.28, not very far away. Now, can we use this 50 EMA and, find our support area and bounce back to the upside and make a new high? We very well can, right? But looking to the downside, let's see where our trouble places are, and I need to remove that. So back to the downside, if we break under the 50 EMA as of now, which is around the 638 area, we could very well come back to 637.46, again at 637.08, and breaking that level somewhere around 636.71. Now, if we break that, we can come back to 635.89 and breaking that level 635.40. back down to this level 634.85, and should we break that, we have the next level marked at 634.36. However, that 200 EMA is right there at the 634.62. breaking that, in my opinion, could be a few layers of support for the SPY. So under the 634.36, we could very well come back to 633.63, 633.37, and there's a big difference between that 633.37 down to the 631.76. So if you're trading the SPY today, we have made a new high. Let's say that. Yes, we made a new high. However, we've gotten rejected from there. Is this our support area? That's why it's important that we trade what we see. And I say that often, trade what you see, mark your levels, and once it goes against your why, get out. So we are now looking at Tesla, and Tesla it does what Tesla does. I just say that often, right? We closed at 316.06, and as you can see, we've been trading in this gathering spot, as I like to say, the consolidation area. Support is around the 319.62. Resistance here around the 321.18. That was the zone that we've been trading in. Now, back to the upside, we would definitely need to clear this 321.47. We've tested that area a few times, right? Now, breaking that brings us back to this area, 321.75. Again here at 322.37, 322.60, 322.84. So this 322 area could be a strong area of resistance for Tesla. There's a few layers, let's say that, right? Now breaking that 322.84, the next level I have is here at 323.36, 323.54, 323.74, not very far away. That could be a strong area of resistance. We see the ATR trailing stop is right there, 323.87. So breaking those layers of resistance, we could very well come back to 324.15, 324.52, 324.40, no, 324.80. And if we should break that, I have 325.19. for Tesla. Keep in mind, Tesla does what Tesla does. And again, y'all, I look at support and resistance on a smaller scale. Why? Because when I'm in the trade, I kind of want to know where my possible trouble places are. So as of now, if Tesla should break this level of 320.43, which is kind of like where our 20 EMA is, the level that I have is at 320.30. Breaking that brings us back to the 320.04, 319.79. 319.62, not very far away. However, it has been a support area for us. Now breaking this 319, let's say 319.50 319.60 area, 319.62. Should we break that, we could very well come back to 318.87. Again here at 318.26. Y'all see the 200 EMA, 50 EMA, and a level that I have here. It's at the 317.93 area. So this could be a strong support area for us for Tesla. Again, not financial advice. However, should we break this, we could very well, you know, there's a next level 317.61 and breaking that 316.98, which puts us back in this level here, in this area here. So if we break this area of 316.98, we could very well come back to 316.60, 315.96, and then here at this 315.43. So if you are trading Tesla today, I say it so often, y'all, trade carefully. In this market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed, right? So we are now looking at AMD. We closed at 166.47. It seems to be trading in this gathering spot. Support was here at 168.61. Resistance was here at 170. So that would have been the area that we were trading in. However, breaking this 170 area, we still could have trouble here at this 170.33 area. Breaking that 170.89, 171.38. Breaking that 171.38, we could possibly have trouble 172.07, and again 172.72, breaking that 172.72 area, 173.11. And should we break that 173.11, which is around here, we could possibly have trouble again, 173.74. So if you're trading AMD today, those are possible areas of rejection. Now to the downside, under 168.61, the ATR trailing stop is forming at the 168.15. In my opinion, that's going to be a strong area of support. Again, not financial advice. So under that 168.19, you see where the 50 EMA and a level is right there. I like to see that, y'all. 167.66. Should we break that level for AMD today, we can come back to 166.79. Breaking that brings us 166.44, and should we lose that area, we have right here 165.72, which brings us back to this zone here for AMD. So if you're trading AMD, these are possible areas of support. Now breaking the 165.72, 165.37, 164.83 down to the 164.32 could be a support area. Breaking that 163.69, 163.13 could be a support area. So I say it often, y'all, market levels, and once it goes against your why, get out. Live to trade another day, right? So we are now looking at NVDA closed at 173.50. Looks as if we made a high of 175.22 here. I need to remember that, right? So this is the zone that it was trading in. As of now, resistance was around that 174.92 down to, let's say, right here at 174.68. So we're just marking levels to figure out, you know, where our trouble places are. As of now, the support is around the 174.52, resistance 174.68. Should we break that, 174.92 is an area we could possibly get rejected. Should we break that area, 175.22 could be within reach. Now breaking that, we could very well make new highs, right? So, and once it makes the new highs, I use my EMAs to help with support and resistance then, right? So let's say we break under the 174.52, we could very well come back to 174.18. Breaking that brings us back to kind of something stopped us here in this area at 174. See, I looked at these candles, but as you can see, this candle touched that line here. So under the 174 area for NVIDIA today, we could very well come back to the ATR trailing stop 173.71, and breaking that brings us back to 173.48. Now breaking that 173.48, we could possibly come back to 173.28. And if we should break that level, something stopped us here around the 173.14, but the low of this candle here is 173.07. So that is an area we definitely need to watch. Why? Because something stopped us in this area. I say that often, but we've been there this time and this time. So that's really strong area of support, in my opinion, for NVIDIA. Again, not financial advice. Breaking this level here, we could very well come back to 172.84. Then I would use the 200 EMA at 172.74 as a support area and breaking that 172.57. So if you are trading NVIDIA today, I would say trade carefully, mark your levels. Once it goes against your Y, get out. Make sure you have the discipline to get out, right? In at the right time, out at the right time. We do have a few inside day candles for today, Amazon being one of them, and we have broken through the trigger. It is now our support level, 232.52. Back to the upside, it looks like our target to the upside today for Amazon is 236. Now to the downside, under 231.17, we have a downside target of 228.62, meaning if we break this 231.17, we have a downside target of 228.62. Amazon is an inside day candle. Carvana is also an inside day candle above 339.86, upside target 342.59. Now to the downside, under 328.90, we have a downside target for Carvana today at 325.94. So if Carvana is something that you trade today, I say trade carefully. Devon Energy has already reached that target. I like to see those, right? So when the trigger to the upside was the 33.48. Target to the upside was 33.63. As you can see, we've made a pre-market high of $34. So we've already reached that trigger target, broke through all of that, right? So now can we go to the downside or break through the downside? We very well can. Let's say under 32.86, downside target 32.70 for Devon Energy today. So if DBN is something that you trade today, I say it often, y'all, trade carefully. Google or Alphabet Inc. C is also an inside day candle today. Let's say we break above this level of 195.28. Upside target today is 199.05, and it looks as if it is trading in a gathering spot or support, which is around this level 194.66, not far from the ATR trailing stop at 194.29. However, if we should break under the 192.12 downside target for Google or Alphabet Inc. C today is 190.191. So if that is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. Now, Google, GOOGL, is also an inside day, or Alphabet Inc. A. If by chance we break above, it kind of looks the same, right? So if we break above the 194.39, upside target today 198.06. If by chance we break under the 191.21, downside target 190.99. So if Google or Alphabet Inc. A is something that you trade today, I say trade carefully. It is an inside day candle. And let's see, I do believe Meta is also an inside day candle for today. Let's say if we break above this level here of 720, did I say 720, we have an upside target of 726.99. Now to the downside, let's say we break under the 714.53. Our downside target today for Meta 713.46, which is not very far away. So Meta is an inside day candle. Now it is trading sideways or in a gathering spot. Support, we can say support resistance area 715.58. Should we break that, we have 716.54 again here at 1704. Now breaking that 717.04, something has stopped us in the 717.79 area. Now breaking that brings us back to around 718.63, 720. Breaking the 720 for Meta today, 722.15. Keep in mind, anything can stop us in this area here. So breaking that 722.15, the next level 722.93, 723.81. Those are possible areas of rejection or resistance areas. Now to the downside, let's say we break under this level here of 715.29. There's a lot of layers of support here at the 714.77 down to that ATR trailing stop around 714.10, 200 EMA and a few layers here. So definitely, if I was trading Meta today, those are areas that I would watch as a support area. However, breaking that 714.10 area, we could very well again come back to the 713.46. Breaking this 714.10, we've broken through few layers of support, which we could very well come back to the 713.46, then here at 712.86, and breaking that level 712.03, breaking that 711.27. And as you can see, there's a gap or a space in between here. We could very well come and fill in or get stopped out. So I would definitely watch that area under 712.03. We can come back to this layer of 709.86. So if Meta is something that you trade today, y'all know I say trade carefully, y'all. So this is what I see when I look at the market. There's so many different ways to trade the market. And again, what's challenging is trying to figure out the strategy that works best for you and for you to have the discipline to execute your plan. Make sure you have a plan before going into the trade, right? So I hope that everyone have a very productive day today. If you can, again, if you could, please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.